I just recently moved to New York and this is my first time actually ever paying rent. And I feel like whenever I mention that online, it's always the internet trolls who are like, ooh, she must be so rich. Where is she getting all this money from? But now that I have a place to live, specifically in New York City, I now have the opportunity to directly compare the cost of living for both. When it comes to both traveling and day-to-day lifestyle, obviously there are preferences and nuance to every individual person's life. But today I'm specifically gonna just try and take you guys along for an average day in my life here in New York City as someone who's just moved here. I really hope I don't get desensitized from this view. It's so good. Regardless of if I'm at home or on a cruise, one of my favorite ways to start the day is with movement. I feel like it is just the recipe to have an amazing day. And lucky for me, there's a lot of opportunities for that here. Welcome to the jogging track. The jogging track is a great place. Most cruise ships have a jogging track, either somewhere in the middle or on top deck. But I also love the gym. When I worked on cruise ships, it's actually part of the job requirements to spend at least an hour in the gym every single day to maintain fitness. So I'm definitely familiar with this environment. Are some cruise ship gyms better than others? Absolutely. But I think as far as a free gym goes here on Star of the Seas, it's pretty incredible. There's a lot of different equipment to choose from, so many machines, so many free weights. They do have some classes that you have the option to pay for, but you can also just easily get by using the gym for free. But how does that compare to New York City? In New York City, people are not paying crazy rent prices for fun. They're paying for the opportunities, for the people, for all the events. And for me personally, one of my favorite free things included is Central Park. I did a triathlon a little while ago. I was feeling so good. I was like, I'm a running girly now. Then I went to Kyrgyzstan. It destroyed my knees, just easing my way back into things. And it's a beautiful day. I think one of my favorite parts about Central Park as well is the fact that everyone is just out here trying to move and get outside. Naturally, being in a city, there are some limitations when it comes to being in nature and being exposed to green spaces, but I really love Central Park. I love the vibe here, and especially before it gets too cold, trying to soak it up. And the leaves are changing. So now to talk about the gym situation. I think to get a clearer picture, we need to rewind to my apartment hunting process. That is the first New York City apartment that I've ever looked at and toured. I think a lot of New York apartments that are just for one person are quite small, especially in this area. It's right by Central Park. But unfortunately, yeah, it is a basement. It's on the ground floor. Doesn't feel like the right fit. So we're currently on our way to see the second apartment of the apartment hunt. This is a studio in the Upper West Side. I saw a video of it online. It's kind of hard to tell what it could look like because it's a bit messy. And here is the included gym. Thank you, Sam, for the demonstration. When I first started looking for places, I was very staunch on I want to be in my own spot, I want to have a studio, and I don't want to have roommates. But that quickly changed when I realized I can get a much nicer spot with a whole ton of amenities for the same price. I just need to share the space with people. All things considered, the gym here is very decent, and at the moment I do not plan to get an additional gym membership. I am paying enough for rent. I do have some stuff to do today, so I'm not gonna actually be going to the gym itself. But first, it's time for food. Good morning, you guys. It is a beautiful sea day here on Star of the Seas, and we are starting off the morning at the Pearl Cafe. Of course, there are going to be some locations on board that you do have to pay an additional charge for, but the majority of items on ships are complimentary. So today I am getting breakfast here. I am getting a peanut butter overnight oats. So let's see how it is. This is really good, but I think we can also all agree that everything just tastes better when it's free. This is no exception. Throughout the day, the Pearl Cafe kind of changes all of their options. In the morning, they have some fruits and overnight oats. Later on, they switch more to like cookies and wraps and sandwiches. I'm usually not the kind of person to have a super big breakfast, so this is perfect for me. But when I'm back in New York, I like to make smoothies. I feel like smoothies have been my thing for quite a few years now. Honestly, it's been like the majority of my adult life that I feel like I just drink smoothies. They're super tasty. You can like pack a bunch of different nutrients into them, whatever you're feeling that day. I have a love-hate relationship with the food on cruise ships. One, because everything's free. That is absolutely amazing. Obviously, it keeps costs low, but there's obviously limitations when it comes to the food that you can have. For example, I would never be able to find a smoothie such as this on a cruise ship. I mean, maybe on some, but definitely not without paying for it.
And I just went grocery shopping yesterday, so we can see how much this smoothie costs. I took the price of all the items that I put in my smoothie and then divided it by the amount of servings to create a cost per meal. And the total for one smoothie is approximately $6.32. For a smoothie that I genuinely love and enjoy every day, and also know it has like tons of nutritional benefits. Amazing. Especially when creating this particular smoothie, I feel like I've tried to be very intentional, such as the antioxidant properties in both the cherries and the raspberries. I've also started seed cycling. You can look it up if you want to, but overall, not too bad. It is now time for afternoon coffee. I feel like typically when it comes to getting coffee on ships, you have a couple different options. There are some free cups of coffee that you can get that are just pretty standard, or you can have a friend who works on the ship and has a coffee machine. Hang with friendship. Accompanying the coffee today, we have a little treat called an almond finger. This is Mr. Tom's favorite. Almond fingers for all. As for New York, however, things are a little bit different. As you can probably imagine, with New York being one of the biggest hubs in the world, there is absolutely no shortage of coffee. There are coffee shops on every street, every corner. However, if you get a coffee every single day, it is definitely very expensive. So my mom is kind of like a health conscious kind of gal, and she was recommending me mushroom coffee. Before this, I had never heard of mushroom coffee, so I was a little bit like, what? The blend has a lot of like brain and body benefits. Plus it is very tasty. The company is called Rise. This is the cup. It is so cute. I've only started drinking coffee in the past couple months, and I've noticed that it has made me a bit shaky. This kind of blend is known for being like jitter-free, a bit more sustainable of an energy. Something I've noticed is anytime I go out for coffee in New York, I end up spending like $10. I only like lattes, plus I need to pay like an extra $2 to make it dairy-free. But this one, naturally dairy-free. Also like sugar-free, gluten-free, organic, all of the things. It's an instant coffee that comes with like 30 servings, way cheaper. But for this video, I'm also partnering with Rise. And if you use my code WanderlustAlley15, you can get 15% off your first order. If you'd like to give it a try, plus support me in this channel, make sure to click the QR code on the screen or the link in the description below.
Aisles clear at all times. Children should remain at a safe distance from the performance areas.
I feel like being on a cruise ship and being in New York, they are both centers for entertainment. So today we are going to be testing that. Right now we are on Star of the Seas, where they have an aqua theater, and we're going to be seeing pirates and mermaids. It seems very bright and kid friendly, so I'm excited to see what it's like. I haven't seen Friends personally, but apparently we have. Currently, a beautiful day here in New York. We are in West Village. So Brenna and I first met in Japan 8 years ago. I was 19 when we met, and now I'm 28.
I was 21.
Pretty crazy.
Little babies.
Now we're just here in the city. I feel like the best part about being in New York is that you don't necessarily have to have things to do or like specific attractions you need to see, because the whole city is just a vibe. Oh my gosh, what? Here on Star of the Seas, there is over 15 restaurants that you could choose from to eat, and a lot of them are complimentary. And for lunch today, we are here at the Windjammer. I swear the Windjammer here is like 50 times better than pretty much every other Windjammer that I have been to. They just casually have lobster here.
Not often you get lobster in the Windjammer for lunch. I mean, people pay for the lobster in the dining room.
I know!
Have it for lunch.
Especially coming from like crew comparison, we never get good protein. This is next level and for free. Now, as far as lunch goes here in New York City, I feel like every day is a little bit different. Since I've been here, I've been really prioritizing efficiency. I feel like no matter where you eat, if it's gonna be something a little bit healthier out in the open, you are gonna end up spending a lot on food. But for the most part, I will just like do Factor or Whole Foods. They have prepackaged salmon and arugula. Yeah, that's kind of it. Entertainment continued. We are here at the Flow Rider. The Flow Rider is basically surfing simulation, and it is honestly quite terrifying. I was never able to do it as a crew member, so I'm not very well versed. I've tried it once, didn't quite like the experience, but I'm thinking maybe second time around, this is my time to shine. How are you feeling? Here we go, Flow Rider. Yay, we did it!
It's a little windy and cold up here.
Oh my gosh, it's freezing.
I want to do more. I want to do better.
I'm so surprised because I wiped out so bad last time. I feel pretty accomplished.
You got it on your knees.
Woo!
God,
Are you ready
just
for just salad?
No, I'm not. Just salad lacks all humanity. Look at it. It looks like an insane inside. But we need to eat healthy.
Whenever we eat out, we don't necessarily come to just salad every day, but this is the cilantro lime and chicken bowl. It is $13.99. I guess in New York, like, this isn't that bad.
No, that's really good.
It's pretty good.
My sandwich at the bodega shop is like 13. This is a lot more.
And this is pretty fresh too, so I'm not mad about this. Good evening, my friends. We have reached the end of the day, which means, of course, we have dinner. Like I mentioned previously, there are a ton of different options to eat here on the ship, but tonight we are going to be paying for a meal at none other than Pier 7. Something fun about Pier 7 is that since it's really tucked away in the Surfside area, which is primarily for kids, a lot of people don't go here. So it's pretty empty, even though this is kind of prime dinner time. You get 3 dishes for $25. That's pretty good. And it's not just like burgers and chicken tenders. It's like Buddha bowls, Korean fried chicken, Baja fish tacos, pretty decent things. So now at this point, I'm sure you're wondering, well, what about the price of the cruise itself? What about your rent? Well, it's a little bit complicated. For the cruise specifically, I was in a bit of a different situation this time. It only cost me $28 per day compared to living in New York City where I'm paying closer to $74 per day. That's pretty good. But I will say this is not sustainable. I also got a discounted rate because I was signed into a crew cabin. In comparison to regular guest prices, the lowest I could find was $900 per person per week. Also important to note that the ship does not have solo cruising, which means that it's actually closer to $2,000 per week or $300 a day. Like I mentioned, this is all super nuanced. Even my choices vary on a daily basis. So tell me what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and also check Rise in the description below. And I will see you guys next time.